Hi, my name is Hait. I'm an American-Israeli attorney with offices in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Ra'anana, and Haifa. So a lot of times when people start getting divorced, they come to me and they say, look, my spouse and I are on different religious levels, and I really want to make sure that my kids grow up on my religious level. What do I do? Well, first of all, I always explain to them that the general rule is that the religious level or the observance level, right? I always differentiate between religiosity and observance, but the observance level isn't going or shouldn't be changing because of the divorce. In other words, if your kids are going to Dati Leumi schools now, then you shouldn't expect that they should be going to Haredi schools afterwards, or that they should be going to secular schools afterwards. If you or your spouse expect their observance level to change, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening if it ever gets to court. That being said, how do you make sure that doesn't happen? In other words, I've had people call up and say, oh my God, my kids are now going to Harev schools instead of the Dati Mamlachti Dati. So what do? Well, then what happens is in Israel, we have two different things. We have guardianship and we have custody. And as guardians of the children, both parents have rights regarding certain decisions, including educational decisions, including health decisions, etc. And if your spouse changes something unilaterally and you didn't agree to it, first thing you should be doing is telling the organization where they've changed something. And the second thing is going to court, which brings me to the other thing. What usually happens when spouses are at different observance levels is that someone comes and says, hey, my ex-spouse isn't keeping Shabbat anymore, or my ex-spouse isn't keeping kosher. How can I make sure that when my kids are there, they are? And actually, if I'm involved beforehand, that's usually one of the things that we insist on in terms of getting into the agreement, so that even if someone's not observant, when the kids are around, they are observant. And if they change afterwards and they're not willing to compromise on this matter, then that's the type of situation where you go to court. As a matter of fact, during COVID times, I had a woman that I represented whose husband stopped being observant. I went to court, and in the end, through the court, we reached an agreement where the children, at least on the Sabbaths, would be going to his parents because his parents were still observant. But the bottom line is, we had to go to court because the sides didn't agree, and this was a change that happened after, and I stress that, after the divorce itself. Because if during the course of the divorce you make an agreement, well, that's the place where you have to address those issues to make sure that your kids are going to grow up the way that you want. And why is it important to know this? Well, if you're getting divorced, there are a slew of things that you should be addressing either in a divorce agreement or in litigation. And if you know what these things are, then when the horse trading begins, you're going to be better prepared to make quick decisions that reach an agreement quickly, and or when the judge starts asking you questions, you're going to know what your positions are. And it's really important to have these things known and ready in advance. If you have any other questions about divorce in Israel, then please pick up the phone and call me. I and my staff work with people on these types of issues day in and day out, and would be happy to help you with your problem. Again, my phone number and my email address appear on the screen in front of you. Thank you.